Previously. See this bitch? Not the gold Aya wanted me to find, but there might be gold inside, or even an ancient artifact.
Mum, there was a letter for you in the mailbox.
Where is Jill? What a lame prank, can you believe it?
When you're a child growing up without parents, you often look at the adults around you, and wonder if one of them might be your mother or father.
As a former SCIA agent, Grande might be able to track them down.
I came here to arrest Elise.
Are you in control of your powers again?
It's probably safe to say Madre Casecha's curse isn't the only one that was broken today.
Lord Henford, you're alive again?
Looks like it.
And this potion will definitely cure my unpronounceabilities. Cheers.
A candle, huh? Reminds me more of a funeral than what I had in mind when I suggested burning this fucking statue to the ground.
Calm your inner pyromaniac, Willy. No one said we were going to do that in the first place.
But it would make sense. Madre Casecha is gone. She can no longer hurt the people of Selvadorada, neither the living nor the dead.
Exactly, she's gone. The statue is no longer keeping her soul here, so nothing would be gained from destroying it. It would only cause a stir among the residents of Belomisia, who still remember Madre Casecha as the founder of their village. And that she will always be, no matter what she became afterwards. After all, she has done a lot of good in her life. Too bad it had to end like this.
But she did try to blow up the marketplace before, didn't she? Do the residents not know it was her?
For now, they think it was a test of New Year's Eve fireworks that went a little overboard. I'll come up with something more elaborate later. Nobody got hurt after all. Well, at least nobody who didn't recover.
New Year's Eve fireworks. Reminds me of the magic community's old tradition of celebrating the turn of the year with lights and fires.
That tradition still exists, but only among the most old-fashioned witch families who refuse to keep up with the times. Most contemporaries of the 21st century have switched to fireworks by now.
Yeah, and the noise still freaks me out every single year.
I see. Looks like I'll have a lot to learn about modern human civilization.
Definitely. I felt the same way after moving from Sulani to Windenburg. It's like two entirely different worlds existing at the same time.
I think a lot will change around here as well. Without Madre Casecha's explosive influence getting in the way, what are your plans for the future of Selvadorada, Januaria?
Whoa.
What the fuck?
That's a first.
Okay. Something I said?
Mum, are you sick? Because you just called Januaria by her real name for the first time ever.
Yeah, the only other time this happened was when you two had switched bodies. And then it was technically Januaria saying her own name, so it doesn't really count.
I think she's earned it. I never properly thanked you for saving my life with that antidote. Even though it tasted like shit, extracted directly from the bowels of a partially decayed skunk's body in the windowless morgue cellar of a phone salesperson who never showers.
Well, I brewed it without the avocado, to teach you a lesson.
How rude. Can you believe it?
And there goes her hard-earned respect.
Why don't we continue this conversation at the cantina? I haven't had dinner yet.
Is there even anything on the menu that you can eat?
Not on the menu, but there's plenty of delicious live prey running around.
Oh, so that hasn't changed. I assumed the integration of vampires into mortal and occult society had gotten better over the past few centuries.
Depends on who you ask, but in general, no, not really. My nephew can tell you all about that if you ask him.
We've found what we were looking for. Your grandma suffered a mild case of unpronounceabilities, but everybody's fine now and will be on our way back home shortly. XOXO. Yeah, thanks, Dad, but that doesn't put my mind at ease just yet. Whatever that unpronounceabilities is, and whether you cured it or not, such things never just come and go without leaving a mark.
Piss off, both of you. You're not welcome here.
Huh?
Well, I'd say that's one name we can cross off the guest list.
Cross them all. None of us wants to be at your stupid celebration. We'd rather go to church with those pious Christians. At least they made attempts to rid the world of you witches.
And you think they like vampires better? What happened to you, Glenn? You used to be much nicer as a kid.
Not nice enough for you though, was I?
What's going on?
These two witches came in through the portal without permission.
They don't need permission to use the portal. Neither do you, if you wish to travel to the magic realm. That's why the portal is here in the first place, to facilitate communication between different occult species.
You disappoint me, Loki. I thought Mercury was exaggerating when you called you a witch sympathizer, but given your own mixed heritage, it shouldn't come as a surprise. Come Belial, we're getting out of here.
What a creep. The winter solstice celebration will be a lot nicer without people like him anyway.
So that's why you're here? To invite the vampires to your celebration?
It wasn't my idea. The ageless sage suggested it, and you know him, his suggestions are basically orders. I'm just the messenger, and Stella Maria came along to protect me.
Makes sense. You two would never have come here voluntarily. But I'm sure Charmaine and some other vampires will gladly join you. Mercury's people are just a very vocal minority.
One that gets more aggressive every time I hear about it. And now Glenn has joined them too.
How do you even know that guy?
Don't you remember? He and Lucian used to be friends as kids. Until I found out that his parents were vampires and prohibited my son from playing with him again.
Right. The new fiery red hair threw me off.
And you're still surprised that Glenn doesn't like you, Evangelina.
It may not have been my best moment, but 10 years is a rather long time to hold a grudge. Well, for someone whose name is not Popescu, at least.
He most definitely won't be at your party. But as for the other vampires, we'll see. I'll pass on your invitation.
Thanks. Here it is. See you then.
And I should try to find out anything I can about this so-called unpronounceabilitis before I do anything else.
Promise me you'll write me a letter every week.
No.
Fine. Every month.
No.
Can I write to you then?
Non, nine, nay, nu, niet. I can say it in a few more languages if you wish. Which do you prefer, or rather, which do you understand?
How about the language of friendship?
Believe me, this is my language of friendship. If I wasn't so friendly, you'd be on fire right now. Literally.
I understand. You don't want our relationship to get too serious too soon.
What?
But can't I at least call you every now and then?
Whatever, if it makes you happy. Here's my phone number.
Wait, seriously?
Feel free to call me if you ever feel lonely, but not before I'm back home.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now piss off before I change my mind.
Did you really just give Alvaro your number?
Do you think I'm stupid? I gave him Beryl's. Perhaps he'll fall in love with her, and then he'll have Serena to deal with.
Oh boy, Madre Kozetch's curse was a blessing compared to what that man-hating mermaid will do to him. Although I admit she has softened a little since I first met her.
I'm sure she still has it in her to scare him for life, and then he'll never bother me again. Are you coming up to chat with Grande before we go to bed?
No, I want some privacy tonight, in the tent, with Lev. I'm planning to.
Yeah, have fun. I don't need any details. Good night.
Come out, whatever you are.
Sure you want to keep doing this all night, Lev? You'll collapse eventually.
I'll sleep once I know if there's a valuable ancient artifact inside this dirt clump. It's the only thing I brought back from the jungle, and I want to give it to our son as a souvenir.
It will still be there for you to uncover tomorrow. Can't say the same about the surprise I have in store for you, because tonight is our last night together before we'll be back to changing diapers.
Kind of sucks to think about our fatherhood this way, but it's true. What kind of surprise is that?
Who knows? Come in and help me uncover my artifact, and you shall find out. Spoiler, it's in the shape of a dagger.
Well, I would be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued.
Can that wait for a bit? We need to talk.
And here comes customs authority to confiscate the exotic artifact before anyone can potentially have fun with it.
There is nothing exotic about the dagger Tiamo was going to impale you with, I assure you.
And you know that because...
Long story. But that's not what I wanted to talk about.
There's nothing to say, Olga. Not as long as you're still hunting our friend. Willie told me about your visit to our holiday home, but I don't know where Elise is now, so I won't be able to tell you even if you arrest me.
Look, I get it. To you I'm the villain of this story. But think about it. You knew my father, Dr. Strankov. You thought he was bad? He only posed a threat to one town. Elise Donovan is threatening the entire world.
Not anymore. Whatever curse was boosting her magic to world-ending proportions was broken when she died and came back to life. The only reason she came to Selvadorada in the first place was to learn to control her powers, so it's not like she was ever planning on taking over the world like your father was. And you're his opposite sex clone, so why should I trust you?
You shouldn't. That's why I made you and Serena promise that you'd stop me if I ever got corrupted by power, remember?
Then allow me to stop you now.
I will stop once Elise is in custody. And if you help me find her again, I'll help you in return.
What do you mean, again?
I happen to know that you're searching for your parents. And you're thinking about asking Grande for help when this is over, but he's no longer with the SCIA and therefore doesn't have the necessary resources. I do.
Wait a second. How do you know that? Tiamo is the only person I told, and no one else was around.
Not physically, but I've been listening in on your conversations. That's how I learned about Elise being here in Belo Mizia.
How? You haven't become a witch since our last meeting in Windenburg, have you?
No, but I went to your house and bugged your underwear. All of it. Sorry, but there was no other way.
What the hell? That's unacceptable. And how come I never noticed anything?
The wonders of modern technology. And I can use that technology to dig into the past, completely without magic. The present can be a little trickier, especially when dealing with a person with the power to manipulate time itself. So the offer still stands. Help me find her, and I'll help Leviathan find his parents. You don't have to decide now, but to contact me, just speak into your underwear.
Screw you. I'm definitely buying new underwear after this.
Underwear is overrated anyway.
Time to remove it then.
Yes, but I still want to uncover this artifact first. I'll be quick, I promise.
Alright. I'm a vampire, it's not like I could fall asleep waiting for you.
The entire holiday home went up in flames? Is everyone alright?
Most of us weren't even there when it happened. I'm just glad my laptop wasn't damaged.
And I'm glad you weren't.
How are things on Sulani? Are you and Shannon progressing through the 5 stages of grief? And what about the swimming lessons?
Yeah, I think the healing process is going well so far, but it may take more time. And it's getting late. In your part of the world too, I assume.
It was a long day. We could all use some sleep.
Sleep? I haven't slept in a very long time. Don't even know what that feels like anymore.
And I'm still not sure if I want to share a room with you. But first things first.
Feel free to stay here while your holiday home is being rebuilt. Louisa won't be needing this apartment anymore.
Our flight back home leaves tomorrow, so we won't be needing the holiday home anymore either. We can complete the purchase on my next visit.
Okay, in case we don't see each other again tomorrow, have a good flight. And in any case, good night.
You're still buying that house, Mum, even after everything that happened.
Why not? Don't you want to come back here in the future, if only to see your lover Alvaro again?
Gross. No thanks.
To each their own. I'm definitely never coming back here.
And I would probably feel the same if I'd been stuck here for hundreds of years. But I wasn't, and the jungle will be a much safer place now that Madre Casecha is gone and I have her relic. Care to see what it can do, bitch?
Not really, to be honest. I'd rather wait until the next full moon.
Too bad Elise had to leave. But with the SCIA on her tail, she barely had enough time to pack her bags and clean the soot off her body. Bless you.
Thanks. I've been feeling this annoying tingling sensation in my nose ever since January cured my unpronounceabilitis. Must be a side effect of the cure.
And not the only one, it seems.
Why? Don't tell me I'm bleeding again.
It would surprise me if you could bleed in your current state.
Oh? How strange. I'm not dead though, am I?
No, your body just transformed, in typical Selvadoradian fashion.
Don't worry about it. Januaria probably used bone dust as an ingredient for her recipe which, when combined with witch hazel to stop the bleeding, can temporarily turn you into a ghost.
I didn't realize you are such an expert on potions. Are you the son of the High Witch of Alchemy?
No, but I used to be friends with him. My mother was the High Witch of Clairvoyance.
Wait, what? You're actually a first-generation descendant of one of the High Witches?
A minute ago you were still about to throw him out because you didn't want to share a room with a stranger. Guess you've changed your mind.
Well, if he had told me that sooner.
We just met the Antalion Duplantier I, who was a first-generation descendant. How did you not make the connection that his friend who spent the past centuries in the jungle with him might be in the same boat?
To be fair, bitch, I never mentioned that we came to the jungle together. And even then, both Dantalion and I had many friends from many different families back in our day.
Forget about them, they're all dead. I'm your new best friend now. So tell me everything you remember about your mother.
But do so quietly. I'll go to sleep.
Who would have thought this creepy neighborhood could look so friendly and innocent in winter? I'm trying to imagine how much more beautiful it will be a few weeks from now, with colorful Christmas lights in every window.
Don't count on it. Forgotten Hollow is home to witches and vampires for the most part, and not all of them care about Christian holidays like that.
Yes, I know. Wasn't easy to convince Pompiliou to have a traditional Christmas celebration when I was still living with him. Still, I love snow.
I hate it. And our family probably won't appreciate it either, considering where they're coming from. But at least winter only lasts a few months here, not forever.
Are you cold? Should we go inside and wait for them there?
No, they should arrive any minute now.
I certainly hope so. Can't wait to show them what I've done with the interior of the house. When Aya told me you would look after the baby in their absence, I had to find something else to do. Where is your mini version now, by the way?
With Nate and Esper. They are planning on having a baby of their own at some point in the future, so they might as well practice with an angelic toddler like myself.
Esper was the young woman who asked for my autograph at Aya's birthday party, right?
She's the biggest fan of famous fashion designer Big D. But say, since when does your job include interior design as well, and when did you even find time to redesign Grandma's entire house?
Not the entire house, of course, just the ceilings. It always bothered me how white they were, and how that didn't fit in with the building's aesthetic at all, especially in Tiamo's otherwise pitch-black bedroom, or crypt, or whatever you want to call it. So I made a few little adjustments here and there to fix this.
Interesting. How is the construction of your own new house coming along?
There's not much I can do to help while it's still being built, but I've started playing The Sims to plan the layout of the rooms.
That's not really reliable though, is it? With how dumb Sims are when it comes to routing and navigating in general, you have to place objects much farther apart in the game than you would in real life. Smarter Sims, they said. My ass, I say.
There they are.
Who is that guy wearing Tiamo's jacket?
This is where you live? Doesn't look so different from the houses in my time, although the lack of a proper roof seems a little odd.
Just like with their New Year's Eve traditions, the magic community in general hasn't changed much since the good old days. It can be quite old-fashioned in some regards.
And does the magic realm still exist?
There's a portal leading to it up on that hill. I can show you the way, and warm up a little while I'm at it.
That would be very kind, thank you.
Good luck, Lord Henford. And come back once you've settled in. I still have many questions about the 13 witches.
I'm not sure I have all the answers, but I'll try my best.
Hi Delilah, and Loki. I have a present for you. But don't open it yet. I'll be back soon.
Is that the artifact he dug up in the jungle?
Yup. He wouldn't come to bed until he had finally uncovered it, and when he did, he was too tired to appropriately reward my patience.
Your life is really hard, you know.
Yeah, about the only thing that was hard last night.
I'm so glad you're home. All of you. It's been barely more than a weekend, but it felt like forever.
You survived just fine without me for 40 years. What's one weekend compared to that? Don't tell me you've been lurking in front of the house ever since we left.
Well, no, but I do have a surprise waiting for you inside.
Now I'm officially scared.
We also thought you might need help with your luggage.
It's in their pack mule's pockets, don't worry about it. Feel free to read all about that, and more, in my memoirs. Release date to be determined.
And Grandma, I heard about some unpronounceable disease you caught in Selvadorada.
Oh, that's been dealt with. But I can turn into a ghost now. Get me to sneeze when we're inside, and I'll show you.
If Delilah's mysterious surprise causes an allergic reaction, that might do the trick.
Home sweet home. I'll be in my room.
Just a second. Before everybody gets back to business as usual, may I turn your attention to...
What's that smell?
What?
I noticed it too. Smells like...
blood.
Is that the surprise you were talking about, Mother? Did you kill some of my arch-enemies and mount their heads to a wall in the kitchen?
Probably not, but that's indeed where the smell is coming from.
What the fuck is this?
Jill. I remember that name. Didn't you get an anonymous letter asking about someone named Jill shortly before you left for Selvadorada?
I did. But I had no idea what that was all about back then, and I still don't know now. Who is Jill?
I did as you asked. It's over. Madre Cosecha is gone. Thank you. But I could have done this a lot sooner, without outside help, if you had told me about the High Witch's invisible tomb in the middle of the jungle. You know I can't do that. I'm not as good as you. But I may also not be as alone in this world as I thought. That merman, Leviathan, I felt drawn to him the moment I saw him. And when he showed me what he could do, and told me about his missing parents. Yes, he's from Sulani, and old enough to have been born around the time Azriel visited Jophiel on the island chain. If the rumors are true, and my feelings aren't lying to me, then he could be a hybrid. A half-angel. Like me.